Hello, everyone, and welcome to MoteCon 2024. I'm thrilled to participate in this event as a host, and for this session, a presenter, where I'll share my top tips and ideas for incorporating Mote to boost accessibility and inclusivity in your class. The Wakelet collection I'm about to share with you in a moment will give you all types of resources relating to Mote and inclusivity and accessibility. But for now, I just would like to know where you're joining us from, and shout out to everyone worldwide tuning into MoteCon. I'm ready to share some Mote magic with you all today. So without any further ado, let's get going. So this is my MoteCon 2024 Wakelet collection that I will be sharing with everybody. This will be available to you within the slides deck that I have. We start with a Mote welcome message embed, and we're going to get going talking about maximizing Mote for accessible and inclusive classrooms. If you'd like to take a moment to type in that bit.ly link that I have at the bottom of the screen, you could do that and follow along with me. You're going to type in bit.ly/MoteCon24AI. And we're not going to be talking so much about the traditional AI. Those are just my initials. But I'm very excited to be presenting this material to you today and hope you find at least one idea inspirational to take to your class. So a little bit about me. I'm Alex Isaacs. I'm an educational technology coach in the Long Branch Public Schools District. I'd love to connect on X and LinkedIn. You have my information there. That's all linked for you, and this will be shared. If you would like to scan that QR code or click on it if you're already in this slides deck, that will bring you to the Wakelet collection. And I've also provided you each of Mote's different social media channels right there. I'm also a proud Mote certified educator and Mote ambassador, and most recently Mote ambassador leader, where I've had the pleasure of really collaborating with the entire Mote team and really seeing the amazing advancements going on with this platform. So hopefully by the end of this session, you will be ready to share more accessible and inclusive materials with your students. The power of voice is real. I can speak to it personally as a former 8th grade math teacher who taught through hybrid and remote learning. The Mote messages that I was sharing with my kids made an impact. Having that personalization was there. It made them feel a little bit more normal. So there is power in audio messages, and I'm sure that by the end of today's session, you'll see some examples of that. We're going to share impactful ideas for using Mote, and then with those ideas, I hope that you'll be able to establish even stronger classroom cultures that are inclusive and accessible to diverse learners. That was something that was always very near and dear to my heart as a teacher and now as a tech coach. So I want to get started with a question for everybody, and feel free to drop your answers in the chat. I'd love to take a look at them. What is your biggest hope for your students? I remember very vividly in those weeks approaching the school year being very nervous about, will my kids like the cut of my jib? Are they going to get the jokes? Will they want to learn math from me? But my main hope for my students was that they felt accepted, that they felt heard in my class, and that they were willing to overcome obstacles. Now, just a side note within this Canva presentation, you can actually see in this bottom right corner what a Mote player looks like within a Canva deck. It's interactive. You would get the full transcript available to you there. So this is just another integration that I'm showing you on the fly. So if you'd like to hear my full hope for my students, which back in the day were my kids at Red Bank Middle School, but now are the teachers and students at Long Branch Public Schools, feel free to hit that play button in the bottom right corner. So for me, when I was in the classroom, now as a tech coach, it's Mote for enhancing accessibility and inclusivity for all learners. And I truly do mean that. I saw the impact in a multilingual classroom that I was in teaching math, but I've also seen it really have great impacts on students' speaking and listening skills. So as far as tools go, ease of use and all of the other amazing features that the platform has recently added, I think that this is an easy extension to integrate into your practice and have your students really sharing more about themselves and discovering their own power and voice. So what I'm going to kind of do is bring you to 3 overall kind of topics and then discuss some of the use cases and ideas within them. So what I've done with this slide deck is I've kind of linked the aspect that I'm going to be talking about. So the first thing that I really utilize very extensively as a math teacher were sticky motes. And it's a sneaky little feature that can really boost accessibility, and it's very powerful because you're able to embed your voice on any website. So you can provide that additional context to students if you're sharing with them an article. If you want to differentiate, you can provide that sticky mote only to students who might need that extra clarification. But you also have the opportunity to provide multilingual support with translation. So that's really the big game changer for me. How can we offer those translated transcripts to our students where they can hear directions or feedback in their native language. And that's what I'm going to show you first. So creating a sticky Mote, that's what we're going to do right now. So I'm on the Mote Learning Zone, and one of the biggest celebrations that I used to have as a teacher, and now in Long Branch especially, was National Hispanic Heritage Month, something that celebrates all different types of cultural aspects of Latin Americans, everybody around the world who is of Hispanic heritage. So you have the opportunity to go to the Mote Learning Zone and take a look at some classroom ideas. And one that stands out is this Hispanic Heritage Month by Erin Komnenacki, who does a great job with Mote and has a fantastic activity here. So I have the Mote Chrome extension installed. Now, you might not see it in the top right corner, but it is there, and now it's going to open up. Okay, so I'm using the Chrome extension in my Chrome toolbar. You don't see that, but you do see the Mote recorder right now. They've recently added a remove background noise option that you can toggle on and off as you listen. But now you also have speech to text, which is wonderful to provide that transcript to your learners or audience. But now this is where sticky Motes come into play. I'm going to click on record on URL, and you'll see that active icon come underneath. And basically what's going to happen is the Mote that I record and share is going to bring people who have Mote installed to this web page. So I'm going to record a brief sample message right here and just make it very short. Hello, families. I hope you'll join us in participating for this Hispanic Heritage Month activity. Hit the check mark. You will have the opportunity to change the title up top here. So I could say National Hispanic Heritage Month activity. And you will also see that transcript underneath. Now, for the purposes of today, I'm just going to try to do this quickly. But that Mote link is actually copied to the clipboard right now. So if I now were to paste this link in, so I'm going to act like now I'm just receiving this link as a listener. I'm going to paste in the Mote link and watch what happens. You'll see this quick landing page, but with Mote installed, I'm actually getting brought to that activity now with the option to move around the Mote player, hide it if I choose to do so, go back to Mote to see it a little bit more specifically. But again, if I hit that X button, it's hidden, and then I can bring it back as well. But for me, the most powerful aspect of this is that ability to hit that American flag. In my demographic, Spanish is the most spoken second language, where now that is in Spanish available to any listeners. And I can now hit play. Hello, families. I hope you'll join us in part. That's my English version, but watch what happens if I hit the play next to the Spanish flag. This is also a newer feature.
Hola, familias. Espero que se unan a nosotros.
And I have to say, I cut it a bit short because I'm trying to get in as much as I can in this short session. The accents and the quality of the bots that read messages are actually very good on this website. So imagine the ability to share activities with families through a Mote link where it brings them directly to that page, and then you can kind of have an explanation in their native language. That would be causing homeschool connections to be going through the roof as far as I'm concerned. So I think that this is just a really easy use case to really include families in a new way that would be interactive and engaging for everybody involved, really allowing students to have better attitudes about school and making them feel more included in a classroom community. So that's just one way of doing it. You know, if I'm talking about some other opportunities, I would say, how about to celebrate an amazing grade, you're sharing a sticky Mote on your Genesis parent portal or your Power School parent portal. You could do the opposite as well. Let's say that there are some academic concerns. You could also then share a Mote link attached to that parent portal and then provide those instructions in multiple languages so that parents knew where to go and knew what was expected of them to check their children's grades. So sticky Motes to me is one of the great integrations of this platform. And if you want to kind of take a look at this in a little bit more detail, you could check out that video on this slide. Now, possibly the most impactful new feature by Mote is one that I'm really upset a little bit with the platform. I wish I had this while I was in the classroom as a math teacher. However, I'm promoting it to the fullest now as an ed tech coach. So Mote has offered text-to-speech for a little bit of time now, where there's that read aloud functionality. But within this month, we're in September, Mote has added the ability now to translate those audio icons that you receive within Google Forms if you have Mote installed. So in addition to that, students can share their voice with Mote within a Google Form response. But that new feature by Mote within Google Forms is one that I'm very excited to share with you. And let's take a look at it right now. So this is a Mote Enhanced Exit Ticket form. It's in the Wakelet collection of resources that I'm going to share with you. But this is something that I find most inspiring as a former teacher and current tech coach. When you have the Mote Chrome extension installed, you will see this additional Mote icon in Google Forms. And as you're creating a form, you will get this new option to go text to speech and enable that on. The platform will automatically detect the language in your form, so you don't have to worry so much about that. But the new toggle is this translation option. And if you need any clarification on the instructions, you can kind of hover over and click on the info, and Mote offers this kind of page to you, but it's pretty straightforward, and I'm going to share how this works right now. So you don't see it right now, even though you have everything enabled. You're going to see it for people who are responding, and you're also going to see it on the preview page. So now I'm on the preview page with this Google form, and you'll now see that I have these very nice, non-obtrusive little purple Mote player icons. So I'm just going to click to listen.
Choose one or more of the questions below to
so you can see what's happening. But not only are you getting that read aloud feature, you're also getting that highlighting of the words going along. So you're really boosting accessibility for neurodivergent and multilingual learners. But the thing that really got me was their most recent update to this feature, where I can now click and hold over that and not only get that translated transcript from my original one, but also, again, click that play button.
Elige una o más de las preguntas a continuación.
But again, check any language that you like from this very long list. So that, to me, would have made such an impact on my students. And it's why I'm promoting this new feature to the fullest, because this really makes a Google form interactive. And of course, Mote already had the ability to simply have students press that record button, and now I'm recording my message. So today I learned how to share how inspiring this new Mote feature was. Click the check mark, and now again, for people who have Mote installed, you're going to see that nice player. So this tool, to me, possibly the most impactful integration. It is the Google form now, read aloud, and everything that you can do in Google Slides. But this was just a brief overview of how Google Forms are transformed with Mote as a result of these new accessibility features. So I feel this is about as good as it gets. If you're a Forms person, I would encourage you to try this out with your class and see, how your kids respond to these types of accessible materials. All right. So the last and third kind of aspect that I'm going to talk about are the integrations within Google Slides with Mote. Probably my main beginning as a user of this platform. So in addition to that traditional record option that Mote has always had, they've now added the ability to generate from text an audio message or upload some type of audio file to then extract a transcript and then be able to add it as a little purple sound icon in Google Slides. So other ideas that I want you to kind of consider, because I can see I'm kind of running out of time, replacing images. So you can actually take the Mote purple sound icon and replace that with like numbers. So if you want to do audio directions in order, you could do that. But you also can bring in those translated and transcripted messages by taking a link in from the Mote pad. So I'm going to kind of discuss this with you and show you some examples very quickly. So this was a mini project that I did with my kids. And you could see that this Mote purple sound icon, when I click on it, you could see that it has the full transcript underneath. Whoops. The full transcript underneath that could be translated and responded to. That's because I brought in that Mote hyperlink that I showed you earlier with sticky notes. But this was the thing that I actually had a lot of fun with. I'm going to go to this project checklist, and you see all these different Mote icons on this screen. And I'm going to zoom in a bit. So I'm just going to tell you the variety and quality, I think I mentioned this earlier, of the Mote bots that read the instructions that you generate are really stellar. So when you have the Mote app installed, I had a tough time with that one there, and you click on the Mote recorder in Slides, you'll see the ability to record as usual, but now you can add in text, and you can then produce voice with all of these different voice options, and they're good. So I encourage you, check those out, spend a little time. And then you can also choose the speed. So this is where you would simply type in your message, and then you would get that Mote, as you can see in these different purple icons. You also have that option to upload, and it's not just MP3 files. You have different options included that you can do. So for this one, I'm just going to say, welcome class. You might type out something a little bit more advanced, but you know what? Let's actually do this. Let's go back to this slide, and I want to provide audio instructions for each of these steps. So I'm going to highlight that text and copy it. I'm going to go back to the Mote recorder and go generate, paste that in. Let's say my voice is tired. Let's say that it's late at night and I don't want to wake anybody up in my family. This is going to be the way to add voice to your slides, make them more accessible for your students without having to do it yourself, so to speak. So let's play it and I'll show you the quality of this.
Select a partner you'd like to work with and join forces.
I don't feel like that's too glaring of anything that sounds remotely out of place. I'm going to hit insert. You'll get this little waiting screen, but it doesn't take very long. And there it is. There's your purple Mote sound icon. I'm going to bring this over to number 1. And now again, I kind of brought up that tip really briefly earlier. You can now go replace image, choose any of these different options, and have that purple sound icon be changed to something else. So again, if you wanted to make this like a follow directions in order, you could choose numbers as your replaced image and really make your slides more accessible. So with slides, I was giving answer keys, I was giving audio explanations to concepts in math, but you can really make this your own. It's really a matter of your creativity, how far you want to take it. And this is really just a great option with generate and upload to add those audio instructions and without really having to use your own voice if you're looking for something in a quick pinch. So I would definitely encourage you, any instructions that are typed out, paste those in and use generate as an option within Google Slides. It'll really enhance your slide deck. All right, so we're reaching the end at this point. I'm going to share this tab. And if you would like to get this Wakelet Resource Hub that I'm going to go over with you very briefly in a moment, please scan that QR code. If you are on this Canva deck, you can click on that in order to be brought to it. I had such a great time presenting on inclusivity, accessibility, and if you go to that Wakelet collection, you'll hear some strategies for creativity as well. So I'm just very thankful. I really had such a great time. I love presenting on Mote. It's such a wonderful platform. Again, please reach out to me at Mr. Isaacs Math if you have any questions or you'd like to collaborate on any ideas. Okay. So I'm going to go very quickly. I basically created it for novices of the platform to start. We have an introduction to Mote along with 60 days of Mote VIP access for new users. I also linked you to the Chrome Web Store to download it. These are 3 YouTube playlists that are excellent to fully get a scope of what Mote offers in many different avenues, grade levels. So I would definitely recommend kind of clicking on this and scrolling through the different videos here as well. I have the templates that I shared with you within this slide deck previous that I shared with you, but you also have some different examples that include creativity and app smashing with Google Slides and Google Docs, Canva and Wakelet, and you have resources including the Mote Learning Zone, joining the Mote community, Mote's YouTube page, and Mote's Certified Educator course. So I loved kind of introducing some Mote magic to you today. I know I kind of rushed it near the end, but I wanted to kind of touch on everything. I hope you find this collection and all of the resources that I've kind of shared with you today helpful. And I'm sure that the Mote madness is absolutely palpable at this point in our audience. So I just had such fun presenting in my 3rd MoteCon this year, and a special shout out to Britt, Mackenzie, Shelley, Eleni, and Will. It's been a pleasure to collaborate with each of you throughout the last year, and I appreciate the opportunity to be a part of this fantastic event. I wish everyone who's joining us a great day and successful school year, and be sure to keep watching all the Mote magic at MoteCon 24. Bye for now.